Hi guys, welcome to Pilates. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the class and let's get started. So, I want you to stand with your legs hip distance apart and I want you to try and find your center position. So we're just going to start to have a little forwards and back rock, just rocking into the toes and back into those heels. So coming forwards and back. And this is just a really nice way of just trying to find a neutral position. We want the weight to be centered. So if we just start to reduce the amount of rocking forwards and back and just try and settle in a neutral position so we have a nice central weight. Let's place the hands just onto our hips and we're going to have a little pelvic tilt forwards and back. So again, as we tilt forwards, we flatten, and as we tilt back, we get a little arch into the back. So if we think of this being point A, we're coming forwards, and if we think of this being point C, and what we're wanting to achieve and what we're wanting to find is our point B, so we create a neutral pelvis. So try and just find that midpoint between the two, and just settle in that position. From here, place the hands to the side of your rib cage and let's start to think about breath. So we're thinking about lateral breathing, that outward breathing pattern, so we take that breath in. We expand into the ribs, we breathe out, we relax, we breathe in, we breathe out. So what you want to feel is that outward and that inward movement as you're taking that breath in and as you're taking that breath out. So it's a bit like an accordion as you're breathing in and as you're breathing out. And if we learn to breathe laterally, then once we engage the muscles, we can still breathe away quite nicely without allowing those muscles to release. So from here, let's bring our attention to our pelvic muscles and we start to lift and squeeze those muscles as much as we can. So really take them to a point of being uncomfortable, so you're lifting as much as you can and then just releasing out to about 30%. The abdominals, just draw your belly button back towards your spine and then once again just releasing out to about 30%. So we're keeping those muscles engaged all the time. Let's start to mobilize the body with some little rotations going from side to side. Your breathing is in through your nose and out through your mouth. And don't worry too much about the breath on the warm-up. We're just spending this little bit of focus on just mobilizing into the top of the back, into your necks. And we're going to work down through the body. Coming back to the center, dropping the ear down and lifting. And once again, just letting the ear fall towards your shoulder. And again. One more. And lift. Bring your chin down to your chest. And lift. Chin down. And lift. Bring the chin down and start to roll. So we take the chin along from shoulder to shoulder, feeling that length you're creating into your spine as you're rolling. Come back to your center, head lifts, the shoulders are going to shrug and just let them release. Just a really nice way of just releasing any tension from the shoulders. We're lifting and we're lowering. And let's start to rotate. So we circle the shoulders around, breathing in and breathing out. Reverse, so we squeeze and we come forwards, breathing in and breathing out. From here, bring your hands into a prayer position. Let's have a little spinal rotation, keeping those hips facing forward, returning to the center. And again, try not to let those hips rotate. One more to each side. Come back, bring your arms down, start to lengthen through the side of your body, lifting up and again, lengthening. The arm comes over and reach. Really feel the length you're creating through the side of your body. Come back to the centre, we're going to have a little rotation, circling the arm around. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. Just really mobilising into your shoulders. From here, let's take one arm forwards, one arm back. Let the head follow the back hand. The thumbs point upwards towards the ceiling, and once again just be mindful of the hips. Try and keep the hips facing forwards. Don't let them rotate. The head follows the back hand. So again, just feel this into your spine. Nice and controlled. Coming back towards the centre, bringing the arms down. We start to pedal, so we start to lift and drop. So again, just be mindful when you're lifting and lowering that we lower down before we lift the other heel up, trying to maintain that pelvis stability. So again, just lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering, and again. From here, both heels are going to lift. We're going to float the arms up and float the arms down. We take that breath in, breath out. Out to the side. Floating the arms down. And then the arms, palms face forwards, and we squeeze into the shoulders. And again, squeeze. Taking the arms back to the side, lowering down, and again. Let's just open the hips so we have that rotation around. And just reverse, it's a forwards rotation, and again. From here, single knee raise, lift. Take the leg behind. Lift. Side squat, down and lift. Breathing in. Breathing out. 4 static squats, breath in, breath out. From here, the right arm, we're going to take it back, open it out to the side, lower it down, float the arm up, and on the other side, open. So again, we're getting a nice spinal rotation here as we open and lift. Just one more on each side. Open. Nice spinal rotation. Lift. And float. From here, we're going to raise the arms up. We're going to take a breath in, come over to the side, breath out to lift. And again. Keeping the biceps next to the ears, coming over. Using the side of the waist as you're lifting. And again. Bring your arms down, step your feet together. Bring your arms up. This time as you come over to the side, push the opposite hip out. Lift. Using the side of the waist to lift. breath in. Push the hip out. So as you lean to the right, the left hip pushes out. As you lean to the left, the right hip pushes out. So you're pushing out, lifting up, and again. One more to each side. Take that breath out. Step your legs a little wider. Toes slightly turn out. Arms lift. We take that inhale, we come over. We exhale to lift. Inhale, come as far as you can, keeping the biceps next to your ears. And again, we lengthen, lift. And again. Come all the way over. One more to each side. Take that breath out, bring the arms down. So, we start with our legs hip distances apart. We're going to do a little bit of a squatting sequence. So we have 4 squats here. So again, ankles, knees and hips. We take a breath in. We take that breath out to lift, that breath in to lower, breath out to lift, and again. Softening into the knees. Take the legs a little wider. So again, breathing in and breathing out. Control. Toes are going to turn out. We take it into a plie and lift, so a plie squat. And we now take it into an internal rotation. So it might feel a little bit strange, keep the knees soft. Step the feet together. Breath in. Legs hip distance. Breath in. Breath out. And again. Take the legs a little wider. Sit. Lift. Control. And again. We turn the toes outwards, plie squat. And again, sit. Nice and control, keeping the knees soft. Inwards rotation. Step in, left. Let's go again. Hip distance. And again. Breath in. Breath out. Little wider. Breath in. Breath out. Plie squat, toes out. Knees out over toes. Internal rotation. Step the feet together. Got one last round. Legs hip distance. The knees are soft. Legs a little wider. Left. Plie. Control. Internal rotation. Last time, feet together. Two more. Last time. Well done. Let's give those legs a good shake out. So let's come down on to our mats. We're going to start off in an all fours position. So we're going to make sure the wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are stacked under the hips. We're going to extend the right leg behind, slightly turn the heel slightly inwards, and we lift. Now this lift is really controlled, and be mindful of what's happening into your lower back. So we're not dipping and arching into the spine. Bring that leg in and extend on the other side. Turn the heel slightly in. Control. Let's just bring the knees back in, and let's just start to lift the arm up. Try and keep stability, alternate sides. So again, just be mindful of what's happening through the rest of the body as you're pouring, a bit like a cat when you're lifting those arms. Lift. Stability through the body. One more to each side. From here, we're going to lift the opposite arm and the leg. We're going to bring it in, bring the chin towards the knee, lengthen, in, squeeze, lengthen. Keep the eyes down. Really squeeze, bringing the chin, nodding the chin towards the knee. And place them down. Just settle yourself so your wrists are under the shoulders and knees are under the hips. And we do exactly the same on the other side to extend, lift. Come in, control, lengthen. The chin slightly nods, squeeze the abdominals, lengthen. Really keeping that stability through the body all the time. Working through those core muscles. And release. Just sit back into your rest pose. Just reaching forwards to your rest or your shell pose. Just take a moment here. And then just coming back up onto your all fours again, just checking that the wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are under those hips. We take one leg and the opposite hand comes forwards. We up and out to the side. We bring it back and we close. We're going to do alternate sides. So we lift. Again, it's about control. Lift. And always making sure when we lower back down to the mat that we come back to that starting position before we even think about lifting the arm and the leg. So I'm really trying to maintain stability through my body all the time. Last one. Well done. And just rest back once again into that shell pose. And from here, bring yourself just down onto your mats. Resting onto your tummies. So, the hands just come on top of one another on the head. Just rest down onto your hands. Let the legs be parted. And as you take that breath out, we lift. Breath in as you lower. Lower back. Control. Not too fast. Breathing out as you're lifting, breathing in as you're lowering. And just release. So I'm going to show you an alternative. We're going to make it a little bit more challenging. Now, you can just stick with what you've been doing. So if you prefer, then just stick to the lift and the lower. If you want to make it a little bit more of a challenge, then you're going to lift, add a little rotation, come back and lower back down again. And again, it's a lift, rotation, come back and lower. So again, do what's right for your body, what feels good for you. You might not want to do the rotation and just do the lift and lower. So see how you feel. Breath out, breath in, breath out. Relaxing into the bottom. Let's just go for one more to each side if you're doing the rotation. Well done, and relax. Just release the body down into your mat, just really relax here. And then from here, what I'd like you to do is to place the hands either side of the body. Again, the eyes are focused down. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, squeezing your bottom, lift all the way up, keeping the hips down. And down, nice and controlled. So on that breath out, it's a lift. Squeezing the glutes. And a lower. So upper body is working here. And again, lift. Keeping the shoulders away from your ears, so just be mindful of lengthening into the neck. Really squeezing. Breath out. Let's go for 2 more times. Last one. And release down. Well done. Just bring the hands back in and just let the head just have a little rest onto your hands. And then just bringing your hands just to the side and just push up into a nice cat stretch. So we just round into the spine, just nod the chin and just really feel that stretch you're creating into your back. And just release. We're just going to come over onto our bottom, so if you cross your legs, and then you can just easily transfer on to your bottoms. So we're going to sit with the legs hip distance apart. We're going to take the hands just underneath the knees. We're going to lift up through the crown of the head. And we're going to start to think about pelvic. We're going to tilt into the pelvis. So we take a breath in. And as we breathe out, we start to come back. We start to tuck the pelvis under, draw the belly in. Rounding into the spine. And lift. Coming up. Think about the ankles, knees and hips. Are they aligned? Just be mindful of what's happening to your knees. Tuck the pelvis under, the chin slightly nods. We curl up and we lift. Take that breath in, breath out. So start to round into the back. Nod the chin, tuck the pelvis under. We're creating that pelvic tilt. And lift. Breath out. Lift. And again, so we're really concentrating on the pelvic tilt. And we lift. And again, coming back, tucking the pelvis under. Lift. Take the arms out. We're going to do exactly the same thing. So we round. We tuck. We lift. Breath in, breath out. Start to round. Slight nod of the chin. Tuck the pelvis under. Draw the belly in. Lift. And again, breath out. Lift. And again, tuck under, tilt, round into your back. Lift. And just reach up. Let's just place the hands forwards. The palms face up towards the ceiling. We breath out as we come back. Breath in to lift. Breath out. And lift, and again. Let the head follow the hands. And lift, breath out. Again, just be mindful of what's happening with the legs. Are we managing to keep the feet down? Are the knees staying so they're in alignment with the hips and the ankles? So many things to remember with these exercises. Alignment is so important. And again, that breath out. Let's go one more to each side. and lift. Just lengthen up. So I'm just going to come round to face you now. So I want you just to take your legs out in front, not too wide. So really about, if you think about the hips, being about shoulder level, so I don't want a really wide leg. Try and sit up as much as you can. The arms come out to the side, the feet are flexed. We have a little rotation. We're going to reach down and try to saw our little finger with our little toe with our little finger and come back. So we rotate, we go 1, 2, 3, lift, come back to the center each time, rotation, saw your little toe with your little finger, or as close as you can. Rotation. Lift. Do one more on each side. Last one. Lift. Bring the arms down and very gently bring those legs in. So from here we're going to come down onto our mats. So nice and gently just bringing yourself down. And then just bringing the knees in towards your chest. Little massage, little rock from side to side. So from here we're going into the single leg stretch. Single leg stretch, one hand on the outside of your knee. The other hand goes onto the same leg but it's onto the inner ankle. And we extend the opposite leg. The head and shoulders, the choice is to lift or you can rest it down onto your mat. So you decide. So all we're going to do is breathing in and breathing out, just switching. Breathing in, breath out. And again, if you feel that you need just to lower the head down, then again the choice is yours. You decide what suits you best and what feels good for you as you're doing this. The knee comes in. One hand to the outside of the knee and the other to the inner ankle. The tummy's nice and tight. And just release here. Well done. So from here we're going to go into double leg stretch. So if you really don't want to do the double leg stretch, you can go back to the single, which was what we've just been doing. If you want to try the double leg stretch, just place the hands to each side of your ankle and then the legs and the arms both extend at the same time. The arms come around and we come back to that starting position, the head and shoulders lift. We lengthen, breathing in, breathing out, come round and squeeze. And again, breath in, breath out. So again, if you don't want to do this, then just stick to your single leg stretch. Again, you don't have to lift the head and shoulders off the floor. So if you wish, just keep them down. Just be mindful that you're not lifting your legs too high. They're going straight out, the arms sweep around and then come back in. Breathing in, breathing out. Two more. Well done. So just holding onto your shins, pushing the lower back down into the mat so you create length into your back. I want you to place your hands just underneath your bottom and then lengthen your legs up towards the ceiling. So if we place the hands just underneath the bottom, we've got less likelihood of arching into lower back. So all we're going to do is lower and lift. Nice and controlled. Keep your eyes focused up to the ceiling. Nice and controlled. And again, just be keeping the hands just underneath the bottom. Just helps to prevent any arching of the lower back, which is what we definitely don't want to happen. Nice and controlled. Go for 4 more. 2 on each side. Just really feel that into the tummy muscles. And release. From here, just take the hands down by your side. Just place your feet down into your mat. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to start to do a little bit of shoulder bridge work. So we're going to tilt the pelvis. We're going to start to lift up into our bridge. Squeezing at the top, and as you breathe out, start to lower down through your spine. And if you think about your spine as being a chain, so as you're lifting, as you're breathing out, you're lifting through your spine, link by link of your chain. Breathing in, squeezing at the top. As you breathe out, link by link of that chain, we start to roll down through the spine. Nice and controlled. And again, take the breath in. As you're breathing out, you start to lift up through your chain. Link by link. Squeezing up at the top. And then once again, as you're lowering down, nice and controlled through each part of your spine. And again, let's lift. If you want to add some arms, we can add the arms if you wish. So as you take the breath in, as you breathe out, we start to lift. The arms start to come overhead. heel down. Inhale. Exhale, start to lift the arms, come overhead again. That is a choice. If you don't feel you want to do the arms, then just do the shoulder bridge. Lift. Heel. Lift. This time let the arms just stay overhead and we start to tilt and pulse. Little tiny pulses. Keep your eyes up towards the ceiling. Squeeze, lift. Very small little tiny pulses. Really lifting and squeezing. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, start to lower down through the spine. Arms lift, arms come down. Bring those knees in. Just have a little rock from side to side. Let's bring the arms out to the side. Bring your legs back into your tabletop position. Keeping the gap between the knees, keeping the shoulders down, we come over to the side, we drop the knees into our windmill. We breathe in to lift. We breathe out to lower. And again, don't bring the knees all the way down to the floor. They hover. Keeping your shoulders down onto your floor, onto your mat. Don't allow them to lift. Control every movement. Breathing in as you lower. Breathing out as you lift. My knees are hovering. As I lower, I'm not lowering them all the way down. They go to a hover and then they lift. And again, they come all the way down and they lift. If you want to progress, you lower, extend both legs, bend, come back to the center. That's a progression if you wish. So you don't have to do the extension. Again, you've got to do what's right for your own body. If you want to take it that little bit further, extend, keep extended, and then come over. Again, just be mindful that the shoulders stay down. This is quite an advanced exercise, so you might want to stick with one of the other two, but see how you feel. But just watch for shoulder popping, because the shoulders are going to want to lift here. So really you've got to use tummy to keep that control and to make sure that we keep those shoulders down. And release, well done. Just bring those knees again into the chest. Have a little bit of squeeze. Push the lower back down towards your mat. Just have a nice stretch through into your spine. And just come back into that bridge position. Arms come to the side. And we just start to push the knees away and back. So again, we're not pushing to extension. It's a very controlled movement. And all we're doing is just pushing the knees slightly away, coming back to tabletop. So again, I'm really controlling my movements. I'm really feeling this in my abdominals. I'm keeping my spine really still. So again, it's all about stability through the body. We're not lowering the toes down to the floor. Just pushing away and coming back in. Breathing in and out. So again, you should be feeling this in your abdominals. Let's just go for 2 more. And release. Come in for a really nice hug. So we're going to finish off with a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of stretch. So let's start off just by lengthening and stretching all the way from your fingers down to your toes. Really lengthening through your body, making yourself as tall as you can. If you want to close your eyes, then feel free. And release. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. Feel the hip and the glute. Let's lengthen the leg up. Bend the knee. Just release very slightly and just start to rotate the ankle around in one direction. And then the opposite direction. And release the leg. On the other side, the same, we're bringing the knee in towards the chest. Lengthening the leg upwards. Softening the knee to increase the intensity of the stretch. Release off a little bit and just rotate. For the ankles, and then round in the opposite direction. Just loosening off into the feet and the ankles, and then just slowly bring the leg down. Take one arm across the body, stretching out into the shoulder. And the other side. And just release. Bring the knees into the chest. Roll yourself up to seated. From your seated into a crouch. From here, let's lengthen our legs. Start to roll up through the spine. The hands come into the small of the back, opening into our chests. Bring the arms forwards, drop the head down low. Lift, come over, and again. Feel through the side of your body, and now reaching all the way up to the ceiling. Take a breath in and out, and again. Reach, bring your hands down, and give yourself a big clap. Well done, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this class, and hopefully see you all soon.